Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to this edition of Sticks-n-Stonez, episode number 2 of season 5. Cannot believe I've been doing this now for 5 seasons. It's amazing. I haven't been able to find my live stream on YouTube. On X. That sucks. There it is, right there. Just takes a minute. I'm a little faster than technology sometimes. Most of the time, I do have a little bit of technology working today that you may not really notice, but follows this ugly mug everywhere. So anyway, all right. I have a great show for you today. I believe this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful pairing. These are 2 iconic names in their respective fields. I am going to be pairing Wild Turkey 101. I see this in my feed all the time. People raving about how good it is. I haven't had it in quite a while. This is a brand new bottle. And I am pairing that with an Arturo Fuente sun-grown Cuban Belicoso. It's not made in Cuba, so it's just part of the name. Anyway, I believe this is going to be a bold and balanced pairing that is going to tickle your toes. So you need to hang on because we're about to get started. And when it comes to, kind of marrying cigars and spirits together, synergy is everything. The way things kind of mold together. You want a whiskey and a cigar that kind of complements each other. Now, that could be they have this kind of the same qualities, or it could be corresponding qualities that kind of enrich the sum of the parts. But you don't want one overpowering the other. That's a big thing, because then you're like, well, I've got this expensive cigar, but I can't really get the flavors of it because it's being overpowered by the whiskey I chose, or vice versa. So I think you're going to get exactly that in this pairing today. Like my eyes are kind of low. I got this set up though. Anyway, it is a robust and full flavored pairing that delivers a nice intensity, a really good structure, and kind of a layered experience on your palate. Now, Wild Turkey is a classic. He's been around a long time. I don't remember all the details, but I've told the story before. I'd have to go back and look at it again. But anyway, it got its name from folks going turkey hunting every year. And they had some whiskey that it didn't have a name. It was just homemade. And they started calling it that Wild Turkey stuff. And so the name just kind of stuck, Anyway, for those that really appreciate flair and flavor over flair, this is what you're going to get. As you can tell, it's very simple. They just put it in a bottle and slap a label on it, and off they go. It is bottled at 50.5% alcohol by volume, 101 proof, and it balances power and depth with a really surprising kind of smoothness. It is primarily a high-rye mash bill, and it's aged a little longer than most young bourbons that are in this price range. And this is a classic Kentucky offering. Let's go ahead and get some glassed up. Like that. Don't go, let's touch more. Need to be able to really see it in the glass. So I do like my new magnetic microphone. It allows me to get that bottle real close so you can hear that really well. So as you can see, this is just a really beautiful light copper color, kind of maybe a medium amber. It's got some tints of red in it. It's got really nice legs on the nose. You do get a little bit of alcohol burn in the nose, but on top of that, you get some really nice notes of vanilla and a little bit of brown sugar. There's some baking spices in there, and there's a really nice kind of dose of oak right at the end. Like I said, it's been a while, so let's go ahead and throw one back. That is not for the faint at heart. I can say oh, and by the way, I got the fur babies running around out here, so they may be making noise. Sorry, but they needed to get outside. Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez is recovering from surgery on Monday, so she hadn't really been out of the house much. And also Sadie is recovering from a copperhead bite. She got bit by a copperhead at the park. Yeah, so they've been pretty much at home. Anyway, where was I at? I was at the palate. I need to take another drink now. On the palate, you do get quite a bit of alcohol burn. It's not terrible and overpowering, but it's a decent amount compared to some of the lower proof spirits, in the 80 to 95 range. But you also get really good notes of caramel and some cinnamon. You get that nice charred oak, and you do get that rye driven spiciness. Wheat tends to make bourbon sweeter, and rye tends to make it spicier. This has got rye in it, and it's considered a high-rye mash bill, so it is a spicier spirit. Now, on the finish, it's got a really nice lingering warmth with kind of a peppery kick to it, and then there's just maybe a little hint of orange peel in there too. This is definitely a whiskey that has got character. Oh, it's Santorini grease. It's bold, not brash, spicy, but not harsh. And I think it thrives when it's going to be paired with an equally expressive cigar. Transition. Now, the Arturo Fuente sun-grown Cuban Belicoso, a spiced and rather sophisticated smoke. This is why I did not do Fuente Friday last night. Didn't post a picture, really thought about it, but I'm like, gonna be doing a Fuente today, so I don't want to do a twofer. Anyway, it is a standout, I think, in their portfolio. It's rolled with the kind of the Belicoso format and the torpedo style. The tobaccos are grown at the legendary Fuente Farms. They are a Dominican filler and binder, and that is wrapped in a sun-grown Ecuadorian leaf. So, and I think the result really brings out the flavor, the aroma, and the taste of quality and sophistication. Now on the nose, hang on. Let's look at it first. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited to get this done. Medium to dark brown. Absolutely invisible seams. I cannot see a seam on this thing anywhere. It's got kind of moderate veining. I don't know if you can kind of see it, see the veining in the light. Yeah, it's looking for me instead of looking for I can hide from it. It's got some moderate veining. Most of the veining is not really pronounced, but there are a couple, like right here is fairly pronounced. And then I noticed when I took the cedar sleeve off of it, a little piece of the binder, the wrapper came off. I don't think that's going to make a difference. But now on the nose. It's a very soft nose. There's not a lot of like just robust aromas coming off of this. Yeah, there goes Sadie in the pool. But I get some nice notes of leather and cedar. It's a little bit of pepper in there. Excuse me. And maybe just kind of a little bit of generic sweetness, not necessarily anything specific. Oh, and also when I was looking here, just I was pulling it away, it looks like it's got a little bit of tooth on it as well. So anyway, let's go ahead and give it a cut. See what the cold draw gives us. I am using my Cassetti multi-cutter. Nearly tipped over the wild turkey. I used the V-cut, which is my standard. This is a torpedo, and a lot of people would prefer to guillotine that, but it does lend itself to V-cut really well. So, you know, on the cold draw. Now Sadie's out of the pool. I get kind of a raisiny, kind of subtle sweetness. I get some nice cedar, a little bit of spice, maybe some hints of vanilla. Yeah, that's why I normally don't have them out here when I'm trying to do this. So, all right, let's go ahead and fire them up. Using the Rocky Patel Envoy. Thank you, Sadie. 5 torch. I get, at first, it comes out with a nice, not a blast, but an initial kind of burst, not quite a blast, but a burst of pepper. And then that is quickly followed up with earth and cedar. And the kind of the earth and cedar, after that burst of spiciness, the earth and the cedar kind of come forward and take over. I think there might be some, maybe some hints of roasted nuts in there. Maybe along the line of a peanut, kind of peanut, dry roasted peanuts. There is a really nice nuttiness on the retrohale when I blow it out my nose, and just a slight hint of pepper. It's a really good cigar. Really good cigar. But we're not here to just talk about one. We're here to talk about two. So we got to do both. I can say those do go pretty well together. Hang on here before I get any farther. I got to touch up already. All right. The spiciness of the rye in the wild turkey kind of lends itself very well to the little bit of spiciness that's in the cigar, and then you have the more of like the caramel and cinnamony notes that really kind of help boost it up a little bit as far as sweetness, because there's not a tremendous amount of sweetness in the draw. Like I said, there's that little bit that's there, but not much. I need to go to a lighting class, I guess. But I can say, if this was maybe like Wild Turkey 110, it would probably outmatch the cigar. I mean, you're probably about as far as you can get without going too far. Fuente is, as I said before, is an iconic brand. Hey, I found the seam, and it is visible. Missed it. My old eyes. I mean, they make some excellent cigars. My favorite, not only because I like the blend, but also because I love the name, is the Hemingway. I am a super Ernest Hemingway fan, and I really, I'm kind of all things beach. So it really works well for me. And I paired that. I think it may have actually been my first episode from the beach. And I paired the Hemingway short story or shorty, whatever they call it, which is a little perfecto, with the Glenlivet rum cask, Caribbean cask, whatever they call it. It was really good. The rum aging, the rum barrel aging, really melded well with the Scotch, which went very well with the cigar. So, but this cigar is going pretty well with this spirit. I can say that I like this, the 101, but I believe I am a bigger fan as far as Wild Turkey goes with Long Branch. I really like that Long Branch. That is a really good spirit. Really good. I probably need to pair it more, but I'm almost out. I almost bought some today when I was at the package store. I only went by because I had seen on the local North Texas Facebook page for bourbon drinkers, bourbon shoppers, that Specs down the road about 8 or 10 miles had a whole bunch of what's the word? Damn it. Stuff that they hold back and only let selected people buy it. Had a whole bunch of it sitting out there on one of the checkout registers. Now, you had to be a key club member, whatever they call it, which I am, of course. But I went and I'm like, not really anything I'm interested in. They had a bunch of just regular Buffalo Trace, and I'm like, do you really even need to put that up on the front anymore? Just put it on the shelf. Buffalo Trace is everywhere. But while I was in there, I ended up buying I forgot what I did buy now. I'm bad. It's lucky I can get through these shows. Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. That's what I got. I knew it would come to me. And it wasn't one of the, bottles up at the front that you had to be a key. They just had it on the shelf. And they had like 6 or 8 of them. And I'm like, y'all got a whole lot more of that Buffalo Trace up at the front than you got with the Double Oaked back here. Maybe you should swap them. But, I don't run the show. Those flavors do meld together pretty well. But I do think the alcohol burn on the 101 is probably just a hair high for this cigar. I think if it was down somewhere in the mid to low 90s, like a 92 to 95, somewhere in there, I'd be absolutely perfect. I wouldn't change the flavor. just pull down the proofing just a little bit. You know, that's the way it works, you know. Not every stick will go with every bottle, or vice versa. But this is common knowledge. Hopefully not giving away any trade secrets here. But, you know, Fuentes are kind of hard to come by unless you're buying boxes. And it's still kind of hard to come by. My buddies over at Famous Smoke sell them in 5-packs. I don't buy very many boxes. I've got a couple of boxes of Macanudo Orange Label. I got a couple of boxes of Nica Libre made by Drew Estate that are, one's a sun grown, and I forget what the other one is, but that's like all the boxes I have. Everything else I buy in 5 or 10s. I like having a variety. And I don't have a large enough humidor to fit a whole bunch of boxes in. So, but those of you watching that are my buddies over at King Chi, I would do a really great job at doing a review of one of those big refrigerator sized humies. If you wanted to send me one, I'd fix you up. So just lay that out there. I will also say that the stick doesn't have a long finish on it. It pretty much the flavors kind of go away pretty quickly. Where conversely, the 101 it's got a pretty long finish on it. So I'm still tasting it, and I've already taken a draw since then. Really, really great cigar. It is. Sorry, I'm having to drink something other than just bourbon. It's 93 here in North Texas, and it feels like it's 99. I think it probably feels like it's more like 100. That's why I need Mrs. Sticks-n-Stonez to let me have a tiki bar out here that I can close up and do my shows in there. I've been trying. She hadn't been going for it. Still getting the you get that little bit of pepperiness right in the beginning of the draw, and then it kind of gets overtaken then by the earth and the cedar, which kind of meld well with the oakiness of the wild turkey, and then you've got a little more sweetness in the wild turkey to kind of balance out that pepperiness and the cedar and the earth in the cigar. And they do work very well. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear all that bumping around. I had to scratch. Not anywhere inappropriate if you're not watching, if you're listening. Wasn't anywhere inappropriate. They're off to the races. Sadie is 5. Desi's almost 5 months. They love being out back where they can run around. Sadie gets hot, she gets in the pool. Desi, he can swim. He does. She just dives right on in though. She'll go in 4 or 5 times while we're out here. And if we're in the pool, it's hard to keep her out. And don't get a volleyball out. You cannot play volleyball with her around. Our pool is I think they call it a Baja. It's like 3.5 or 4 feet at each end, and then it goes down to about 6 feet in the middle, about 5.5 because I can walk all the way, probably about 5.5 because I'm 6'3", and I gets up to about my chin, but I can walk all the way across. And we have excuse me, some spots in the sidewalk where you can put volleyball stakes in, or volleyball, whatever they are, posts, and string a volleyball net. But yeah, you start trying to play volleyball out here with her around, she can get that entire volleyball in her mouth and bite down hard enough on it to poke holes all in it. She's ruined about a half a dozen. But you a good girl though, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yeah, she's my baby. I know. I've never been about any other dog the way I am about Sadie. She's my Shetland pony. 95, well, she's 91 and a half now, 91 and a half pounds. She's like a young teenager. But really, our vet doesn't complain too much. Vet wants her at like 85. She is a stocky, short legs for a lab. She, at the shoulder, she might be about 28 inches tall. My last lab, Drake, was much larger. Well, as far as height, he was a lot taller, but he wasn't nearly as hefty. He was pretty sleek, but he still weighed probably around 75, 80 pounds. All right. Good looking ash going. We're burning pretty well. We're 25 minutes in, 27 minutes in, and we're getting about close to the half. Got a wave in it right there that wasn't there before. I don't deal with waves for very long. I get rid of them quickly. But that's to me, that's like straight. Some people talk about, oh yeah, I was razor straight. Shh. Hey, shh. That's the other one. That's Desi. Destin, like in Florida. They call him Desi. I call him Puddles, because he made puddles 5 times the first day we had him. He has been Puddles to me ever since. I tell you what, wild turkey is a little bit sweet because the flies they're trying to take it away from me. I need to just pour a little out on the ground. They'll all get drunk and go away. Yeah, that's it does have a pretty decent alcohol shot to it when you first take the sip. Putting out a really nice amount of smoke. Ash just dropped, and I didn't do it. I just went to set it down. Lord, sweating. We're almost there, almost to the half. I'll let y'all go once we get to the half. Oh, hey, while I'm thinking about it, I have an Amazon store. Same, Sticks-n-Stonez, STICKS-N-STONEZ on Amazon. You just type that in, you'll find it. And the most popular thing that I've had on it that is just sold like crazy is there's a shirt. It's got the American flag and Sticks-n-Stonez on the front up here. But on the back, it's got a big, tall soldier in desert camo. And it's got the Isaiah 6:9. Good Lord, flies everywhere. And the Lord said, "Who shall I send, and whom shall go for us?" And then that's at the top, and then down below the soldier, it's "Here I am, Lord, send me." Oh yeah, that's all I've sold for like the last 6 weeks. You need one. You should go out there and check it out. 4th of July is coming up. This is a really smooth cigar. Uh, Generally, darker wrappers, the kind of the newbies want to stay away from those. You want to start with the lighter wrappers, which are the training wheels, and then work your way up. But I mean, this is a really easy smoking cigar. It's not harsh. It's got some very smooth, kind of a simple palate. So it's not going to overwhelm your taste buds with a bunch of different complex flavors. And it's a good way to get introduced to Arturo Fuente. Some of the best cigars made. Not to talk bad about any of the others, but that Swiss group that is like the most expensive stuff you can find. I've had some of them. I'm like, no, it's not worth the money for me. Excuse me. I kind of think we're about the halfway mark. And what's kind of happened as we've gotten closer to the half is there's been really, I think I said in the beginning, there was, like some roasted nuts, toasted nuts, something like that, like some peanuts. That's kind of come forward and kind of overtaken the cedar and the cedar and the earthiness. And then there's also been some leather and some cinnamon start to kind of show through, which also lends to the spirit, which has some cinnamon notes to it. Again, this was about balance, and this has really been a balanced pairing. I don't think you could go wrong with either one of these separately, and they go pretty well together. I think I've also kind of getting a little bit of maybe a little bit of espresso, and maybe just a little bit more sweetness. There wasn't really a whole lot of sweetness in the beginning, but I think there's been a little bit of sweetness, which again, these two fools, which, dude, you're gonna tear up the chairs. Yeah, Desi Puddles. He's a really sweet. He's a beautiful, really handsome dog, considering he's a rescue. But he's not quite so much in the brains department. Yeah, he's not nearly as smart as he is. He's a little bit of a fool. But anyway, you had the sweetness in the stick. I mean, in the spirit, and now you're kind of seeing a little more sweetness in the stick as we've gotten farther into it. And again, it's that kind of that melding together. I think these have gone wonderfully together. And it's, they say it's a medium to full body, but I really think it's more medium body. And I mean, it is bold enough to kind of hold up to the higher proofs. I just don't know if this particular proof was the one for it. Another little touch up. I know you may think I'm kind of going all over the map, but I'm really not. This is kind of the little bit of spiciness that's been on the cigar from the the sun-grown wrapper on the outside. It does kind of meld into the rye spiciness of the 101 because it's got a high rye content to be a bourbon. And I think it may, I won't say overwhelm the palate, but it may kind of take over the palate just a little bit. I don't know. Let me try it again here. Yeah, I can't go with any more than that. Um, the the Wild Turkey, the 101, does not overwhelm, but it does have a longer finish, so it does seem to kind of bump the cigar out of the way just a little bit there towards the end. And I don't like saying, well, I was wrong. They do kind of go well together. They just don't go great together. I think you would probably have to, if you wanted to do the Wild Turkey, I think you might be a little better to go with a little bit darker, more bold cigar. It doesn't keep up completely. Um, we're not talking rabbit and hare. We're talking about like, pretty close. But I do think that, this is really it's kind of a fusion of strength and spice. You've got the strength of the Wild Turkey, and you've got spice in the cigar, and you do have an amount of spice in the spirit because of the high rye content. And I can tell you, you won't forget it. That's for sure. But anyway, I will stop it right there. I think you have a good understanding. I would give the pairing about an 8.7 out of 10. That's probably about the best I can do. And it's about the pairing. Individually, I think they're probably much better than that. But I think together, they did okay. They did okay. You definitely need to get a hold of some of these Arturo Fuente sun-grown Cuban Belicosos. They're really good. They are. The Wild Turkey is really good too. It's definitely one at this price point that you can keep on your whiskey shelf all the time. Definitely need to do that. And again, Famous Smoke, you can get a 5-pack and not have to invest in a box. So I think that'll about do it for me. Thank you for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, share, notify, all that kind of stuff. Ring all the bells, do all the whistles. You know where I'm at. X, YouTube, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And be sure to be with me next weekend. I have another great pairing. May have something to do with Woodford Reserve Double Oak. Kind of thinking. But until we get to see each other again,